There is average people making thousands of dollars every single day on these lower market cap tokens, on these newer tokens, because they have access to this secret piece of information and these key factors that they're looking at that you guys are not looking at, that's helping them make all this money. And I'm gonna go over that in this video. I'm gonna show you guys everything literally right now. And as I'm about to show you guys these strategies, make sure you guys go ahead and join Mashallah group. We just crossed 100 people inside of there. So hopefully that can be you guys if you take the market serious, and just go ahead and check the link down below. So with the information I'm about to give you guys, only 1% of people know this shit. And 99% of people in this space are just blindly throwing their money at things, and that's why they keep on losing. And this is not going to translate to you being a profitable trader tomorrow, but what this is going to do is it's going to be able to give you new key points that you can apply to these tokens so you can understand what's going on, which will translate to you being more profitable, and it will give you a higher hit rate, which is the whole point of this video, to make you guys better. So the number one thing, or the first thing, not the number one thing, is you have to keep looking at your certain tokens or your key tokens on your watch list. So what a lot of people will do is they'll find a bullish token. Maybe they're looking at ALK, right? I'm sure you guys know about ALK. They're looking at ALK and they're looking at it and they think it's bullish and they want to get into it, but they just want to rush and they want to make a 20x gain by tomorrow. So they're going to look at a chart like this and they're going to see that it's right here. It's very near all-time highs. And they're going to look at it and be like, oh my God, you know, it's already too high. I think I lost. Wow. And then they're going to go on here. They're going to maybe go into Pump Fund and they're just going to find the newest runner of the day. And they're going to just put like $100 on here and just hope it goes well, right? They're going to throw $100 just because of the volume. They're going to hope it goes well. That's a complete gamble. And while they're doing that, they're forgetting to check ALK on their watch list. Now, we did this in Mashallah, I think a week ago, where we kept ALK on our watch list. And we had it down here at these ranges. I actually made a video about this, and this is all provable, where I said that you guys should be buying around these areas. And I just erased these lines, but you guys can look at this in a different video. And I said, look around here. And I said that when we were just around right here. And what ended up happening? This thing had a downtrend, and we had people on Mashallah keeping it on their watch list, and we called it out. And we said, this is a great entry opportunity. And then from there, we saw some great upside. So that's why you need to keep these tokens in your watch list, and you can't just be scrambling around looking for the next new thing, because you're going to miss out on great opportunities. You're going to miss out on great dips to buy, just like we're seeing today with Brett, Peanut, Goat, Mudang, Chill Guy. And by the way, all these indicators are the Mashallah algo that's going to release soon, by the way, just so I can put it out there. But I mean, going back to this, you have to keep these tokens on your watch list. What are you doing? You're going to find a really great opportunity if that's a great token with great conviction and with great fundamentals. You're going to find that opportunity to where you can buy in. Now, the next thing is understanding that these dips come from market makers. It doesn't come from retail. You see a token like Peanut have this crazy downside in one day, right? From, let's just per se, all-time highs all the way down to down here. That's a 40% drop. And that's not from anything else besides market makers. This is not retail dumping a huge clip. These are market makers, and that's what you guys have to understand. And market makers are here to create fear, FUD, and euphoria. Hope I spelled that right. And why do they do this? Well, they do it so people like you can get shaken out of these tokens when they're just completely nuking it to the downside. And who are the market makers? Well, it's private entities, it's certain whales, it's whale groups, it's exchanges, it's institutions. They do this so they can shake out people like you. Just people with maybe $1,000 or $100 or maybe even $50 in Peanut. They want to shake you guys out. And maybe when you guys open up your wallet today and you see that Peanut is at these ranges just completely nuked, you're probably just going to want to sell it. Or maybe you're going to be a little bit scared and be like, what the hell? But if you have real conviction, if you understand why you're buying into these things, this is all garbage, right? That's just called trading with emotions. And that's not what we want to do. Trading with emotions is a very amateur way to trade. So just understand that all this shit is just from market makers. And we see the same thing on Bitcoin. When it comes to the big boy institutions, they're just creating these shakeouts to take out leverage longs and all this other garbage. And just so you guys know too, I'm going to say another piece of information that no one knows. And hopefully one day, if I'm gone off this planet, you guys can look at this info and say that no one else told you guys this. And that is that all these platforms like Photon, Bullx, and yada, 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 I'm not going to mention certain names. And I'm not saying it's specifically any entity, but even with these Telegram trading bots, they know when people have their limit orders, when people have their buy orders, when they have their automatic sell orders. These companies know. And whether they do things on the inside or whether they do things and sell their information or sell their data to whales, I'm not claiming or saying any of them are doing that. I'm just saying that it's hypothetical, right? Yada, 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 hypothetical. They sell their data to big whales. They sell their data to big institutions, hypothetically. And that's how these big institutions are able to make so much money. They know exactly when all the buy orders are, they know exactly when to nuke a project, and they know exactly when there's going to be a lot of bullish upside. They know exactly when they can start uptrending this token. And that's what's so scary about all this shit. It's that normal people like us don't understand this information, but now you're coming to understand it now. These guys will basically nuke the chart on purpose because they know, even with these lower cap tokens, they know exactly when all the buy orders are, and they know exactly when they're able to liquidate everyone's longs and shorts. And it's pretty fucked up, but that's just how the game works. And this happens on centralized exchanges all the time, and people have access to all this data on their trading terminals. So the next thing that you guys need to understand is which KOLs are bullish for a meme coin. This is something super important that a lot of people don't understand. And I'm not going to name out exact KOLs. And if you guys actually like this video, or maybe leave a comment down below to mention to me exactly if you want to see this shit, and maybe I can get into depth with this, but knowing exactly which KOLs are bullish for a project is super important. Because if you are looking at a KOL that maybe just came up and he's doing all these fake giveaways and all this fake garbage just to get engagement, just to build up his following so he can build trust within the community, he's all of a sudden going to start wanting to promote tokens because he's not a trader. He doesn't actually make money in crypto. He just has this following from doing these engagement farming giveaways and all this other shit. And he's going to be able to start persuading his audience to start buying into tokens, whether they're good or bad. These influencers don't care. A lot of the times they're anonymous. They can just whip up these new accounts overnight. They can buy a username. They can do all these different things. So you have to understand and know which KOLs to look at. And just for example, maybe you're looking at a KOL like Crash. Maybe you're looking at an influencer like Ansem, or maybe some of these other bigger guys that have been around for a long time. If they're talking about a meme coin, there might be something interesting about it that you want to take a deeper look at. So that's why you guys have to be super careful and, identify which ones are which. And in Mashallah group, in my private group down below, we talk about these types of things so we can set the standards clear on who's good to look at and who's not good to look at. And we've actually based one of our biggest trades in that group based off of one KOL being hyper bullish on a certain token. And he's just continuously bull posted about it every single day, day in, out, day in, out. And I know that that guy is super rich. So I know that you can't just pay this guy to promote your token. Like, he's got to be behind it, or he's got to be on the team or something. And he's going to back it with all he can because he wants to look good on Twitter so more people can like him. So that's the KOL game. It's, in my opinion, almost equivalent or even better to tracking whale wallets, because with whale wallets, you can't understand certain theses. And when these KOLs and influencers are tweeting about why they like a certain token, you can understand why in live time. Also, you got to understand that a lot of the times they're paid tweets. They're maybe the actual founder behind the project and they act like that they're not. So there's all these things that you have to understand. And now this next point probably gives you a bigger advantage than anything else in the entire space. And that is understanding the dev, marketing, and trading aspects of these projects. If you don't understand these aspects of a project, then you're definitely at a huge downside, because a lot of these guys who are trading, they've launched tokens before, maybe they've done marketing for a token before, or maybe they're just experienced in trading. So if you can combine all these factors, you're going to have a way higher level and way higher understanding of how to trade these tokens in this space, because you're going to understand market makers, you're going to understand volume bots, you're going to understand all these different things that basically put these tokens to where they are. And there is a lot of artificial and also organic price action on this token. So I think that this is a good example of, a little bit of a combination of the both. I mean, we can see this uptrend here. It's going to continue uptrending, in my opinion, once Solana just starts calming down. Right now, this thing is freaking wild today. You guys can see here. It's just insane, like all these downsides, all these fucking nukes and all the market making bullshit. I mean, but even with this, I was able to look at this project and look at the way that they did their marketing on Twitter. And I was even able to take a look at just the chart itself. And I was able to understand a lot of different things around this. And that is because I've done marketing, I've done development, I've done trading, I've done everything myself. And I'm able to identify these things like the chart, their Twitter, their dev. I'm able to view the bundle, the market. I'm able to understand all this because I have friends in the space and I've been around people that are doing this all day long. So it's very easy for someone who's doing it in the space, who's launching projects, to identify other people who are launching projects and able to view the level of how good they're doing it or how bad they're doing it, to be able to determine if something is bullish or not. Like if a team is launching a project and if they're getting all the supply for themselves through a bundle and they go ahead and just start selling it right away, like it's just an obvious thing that that's an amateur team and they don't understand what they're doing, and it's very bearish for that project, and I'm not going to get into it. So like these factors are just so important, and I can almost promise you're not going to see this anywhere else on Twitter. And if you are, it's from a person that doesn't even understand it themselves. I've been trading in this space for way longer than majority of people. If you take a look at my old YouTube videos, I've been doing this shit for a while, and a lot of my theses behind why a project is bullish has stayed over the years. whether I'm looking at DeFi projects, NFTs, meme coins, it all relies over the same common factors. And a lot of it has to do with marketing, a lot of it has to do with community, and a lot of it has to do with competency around the team and how they're actually pushing this project out. And the way that the audience or the way that the community perceives it is super important, which is why you have to understand this. If you're able to understand this, you'll be ahead of the game big time. And if you understand this, you'll be even at step 5. And if you understand this, you'll be at level 10. And then just understanding these other things just puts you at another level. And obviously being in a group like Martial Law Group, I'll leave the link down below. I know I talk about it a lot, but Martial Law Group has genuinely helped people because they're able to understand all of these things, because we have people in there that have done all of these things and that understand all of these things at a very high level. So you need to be around people that understand these things so they can put you on level 10, and you don't have to be competing with all these level 1 people anymore that are just losing all their money on these tokens. You want to be on level 10. You want to be the 1%. You want to have that access to that information that's going to put you on a different level. And I think that this video puts you guys at a really good step, because now you know these things and now you know exactly what to look at when you're looking at these things. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.